Mike, thanks for joining us.
Good to be here.
You've been on Palm Springs City Council before, so what compelled you to run this time?
I've been paying attention to what's been going on in the city since I left office in 2007, and we've got several issues in Palm Springs that I want to address. One is we've got a huge budget deficit, and I was on the budget task force before I was on city council with the city, and I'm a CPA. I have an economics degree. I have an MBA, and I think that I'm uniquely qualified with the experience and my education background to try to tackle these $50 million budget deficits and what we're going to be able to do to move this city forward.
So what would you do differently then in terms of making up that gap?
Well, one of the first things that I think we need to do is move towards restructuring City Hall. We got to fix City Hall. I think this is an opportunity because unfortunately we've had to lay off employees and the city has had to furlough employees. So we've kind of, over the years, we've created this monstrosity of weird departments here and duplication. Let's create from the ground up a lean new city government that will function efficiently for 2020 and the years going forward, not looking back at something that was originally set up when I was in high school.
What are your thoughts on your incumbent challenger, Christy Holstich?
I don't know Christy. I know her family. I know Marshall Gilbert and the Shane family. I've known them for 30 years. That's her husband's family, and they're terrific people. So she's joined in with a wonderful family. I don't know her personally. I just disagree with her on policies.
Well, I had her on the show recently. We talked about her post that was critical of Palm Springs and what she called its racist history and policing. Do you agree with her on that?
No, absolutely not. And one of the platforms of my vision plan for 2020 is public safety and supporting our police. The Palm Springs Police Department is not racist. And it's my understanding, last night the council voted to spend $150,000 for a consultant that the city does not have. We're broke. To analyze and look and see if we have a brutal, racist police department. I worked with the police department when I was on the Palm Springs 100 Club. I raised $50,000. We bought bulletproof vests for every police officer and biohazard jackets, EMS biohazard jackets for every Palm Springs firefighter. During those years, I got to know a lot of the police officers who we were doing joint fundraising. So I got to know the police department. Trust me, there is no racism in the Palm Springs Police Department. And to say so is dividing this city, not uniting it. And we need to unite. Let's not look at an opportunity for some horrible events that may have happened in other states and all of a sudden assume that the police in our city are racist. And I'll tell you what I don't like the 99%, the 1% are making the 99% look bad. It's not 1% and 99%. I'll bet you it's 99.99% are great people and great police officers. There's a very small fraction that may be bad. And I don't think there's any in the police department. Because trust me, Chief Brian Reyes would get rid of them if there were.
Let me ask you, Mike, what are the top 3 issues that you want to tackle?
We got to keep an eye on the budget. We've got safety and security. We have to return the power to the people. I want to tell you a little bit about some of the things that have gone on. I know we have limited time, but right now, the city council voted to take away the directly elected mayor. The directly elected mayor was voted in by the people in 1981. They put a referendum on the ballot to change the rotation of a 5 council member to having a directly elected mayor. The people voted for that. This council took away the vote of the people. They canceled the vote. And that's wrong. One of my platforms would be, let's bring back the directly elected mayor. And if people want to know who it's going to be, well, when I run for re-election, I'll run for that mayoral spot when we get that passed.
Are you confident of your chances?
I'm very confident that I'm going to win. We're going to win. I think the city's going to win. This is a good election. It's going to be interesting with districts. It's smaller. It's different. But I'm confident. I think people People are frustrated. I didn't come out of the blue and decide to run. My ego issues went away a long time ago from the first 2 campaigns that I ran for city council. And I'll tell you what, this is something that was a grassroots organization that came up and said, this city is being divided. We're spending money recklessly at city council. We need help. Please, Mike, will you do it? You're not the only one that can do it, but you're kind of uniquely qualified with your education, experience, and background. I grew up in Palm Springs. I lived in the same neighborhood that we moved to when I was in the 1st grade. I was riding my Schwinn Stingray, delivering the desert sun 6 days a week in the afternoons. And so I have roots in my district. That's the same district. That's District 4.
All right. Mike, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.